Hey TikTok, I'm Khalif Starks and I'm here with some hot news today. This is hard news. This is the serious stuff happening in America right now. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated earlier today at Utah University. This happened earlier this afternoon and it's a big story breaking everywhere. And I want you to take a moment to sit down with me and let's talk about it as I review an AP News article. So Charlie Kirk, he is a conservative activist. He is a close ally of President Donald Trump, and he also played an influential role in rallying young Republican voters. He is only 31 years old. He passed away earlier this afternoon. He was shot and killed at a Utah college event in what the governor called a political assassination carried out from a rooftop. According to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, here is a quote, "This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. I want to be very clear. This is a political assassination." And that is a statement, a comment from Utah Governor Spencer Cox. According to AP News, and as of today, no one is in custody currently, though authorities were searching for a new person of interest, according to a law enforcement official familiar with the matter who was not authorized to discuss the situation by name and spoke on condition of anonymity. Authorities had earlier provided evolving information on the status of the search, with FBI Director Kash Patel initially saying on social media that a quote-unquote subject had been taken into custody, only to later say the person had been released after being questioned. So according here to this AP News article that I am referencing, authorities did not immediately identify the person who had been in custody, a motive, or any criminal charge. And this article was last updated an hour ago around 6:32. Well, a little bit under an hour ago. One thing that this article is mentioning here at AP News, and it's something that we all know, in our country, being here in America, is that this particular situation is drawing national attention. It is drawing a renewed attention, according to this AP News article, to an escalating threat of political violence in the United States that in the last several years has cut across the ideological spectrum. That's according to AP News, not me. Let's see. The assassination drew bipartisan condemnation, but a national reckoning over ways to prevent political grievances from manifesting as deadly violence seemed elusive. Pause. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm literally reading an article, but I will, hopefully, by this time you're seeing this video, the article is on the side of me. Okay? So, get back to it. So according to the AP News, there were multiple videos circulating on social media that showed Kirk at Utah Valley University speaking into a handheld microphone while sitting under a white tent emblazoned with the slogans, "The American Comeback" and "Prove Me Wrong." A single shot rings out and Kirk can be seen reaching up with his right hand as a large volume of blood gushes from the left side of his neck. Stunned spectators are heard gasping and screaming before people start to run away. The Associated Press was able to confirm the videos were taken at Sorensen Center Courtyard on the Utah Valley University campus. So apparently, according to this article, right before the shooting occurred, Charlie Kirk was taking questions, right? He was literally hosting an event by his nonprofit political organization immediately before the shooting. So as he was taking questions from an audience member about mass shootings and gun violence, it's interesting how that literally happened during this time. So here is one of the questions that one of the audience members asked him. They said, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? And Kirk responded, "Too many." The questioner followed up, "Do you know how many times mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? And Kirk's response was, in quotes, "Counting or not counting gang violence?" Kirk asked. So I just want us to see the irony of this particular situation. And before I continue, I want you to drop down below and let me all know what you think about this particular shooting that occurred at Utah Valley University. The death was announced by President Donald Trump on social media. Once again, if I have not said this, Charlie Kirk was 31 years old, and I believe I mentioned this earlier in this report. He is responsible for being an ally of President Donald Trump, and he is responsible for helping rally a lot of Republican young voters. Also, too, just to let you all know, Charlie Kirk is the co-founder and the CEO of a youth organization. It's called Turning Point USA. And also, Donald Trump referred to Charlie Kirk on social media as great and even legendary. And also, too, he released a recorded video from the White House in which he called Kirk a quote unquote martyr for truth and freedom and blamed the rhetoric of the radical left for this particular killing. So before I wrap up here, I just want to point out one thing that this AP News article has talked about and written about. It says here the shooting appeared poised to become a part of a spike of political violence that has touched a range of ideologies and representatives of both major parties. The attacks include the assassination of a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband at their house in June. Do you all remember hearing about that? I remember hearing about that. That was crazy. Also, too, the firebombing of a Colorado parade to demand Hamas release hostages, and a fire set at the house of Pennsylvania's governor, who is Jewish, in April. The most notorious, according to this article, not me. According to this article, with that all being said, national leaders have also weighed in, starting off with former VP Kamala Harris. And she said the following: I am deeply disturbed by the shooting in Utah. Doug and I send our prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family. Let me be clear. Political violence has no place in America. I condemn this act. And we all must work together to ensure this does not lead to more violence. And that was said by former VP Kamala Harris. And then also Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries weighed in and he said the following. He said, I am shocked by the murder of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Political violence of any kind and against any individual is unacceptable and completely incompatible with American values. We pray for his family during this tragedy. Former U.S. Senator and former Governor Mitt Romney said the following. He said the following. He said, the shooting of Charlie Kirk has shocked and sickened me and my family. We extend our prayers and profound sorrow to Charlie and his family, many friends and followers. Another senseless act of violence appalls us. And that is what Mitt Romney said about the situation. Bernie Sanders said the following. He said, political violence has no place in this country. We must condemn this horrifying act. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his family. Also, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani weighed in, and he said, let's all pause and pray for Charlie Kirk. Also, too, Jasmine Crockett said the following. So Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she said today's act of political violence in Utah against Charlie Kirk is absolutely disgusting and unacceptable. We don't have to agree on everything, but we should all agree on this. Political violence is wrong and has no place in our democracy. And also Karen Bass weighed in as well. Let me grab that for you 1 second. Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, said the following. She put this on her X account. She said, I am absolutely disgusted by today's attack on Charlie Kirk. Political violence in all forms is unacceptable and reprehensible. We must all reject it. Drop down below. If you actually watched all of this, I really appreciate you. But drop down below and let me all know what you think about this shooting. Is it political violence or is this just representation of gun violence? As Charlie Kirk was not a political figure, he was just a conservative activist. And that is something that a lot of people are pointing out on social media and threads. And that's just something that I noticed. So drop down below and let me know what you all think. I'm noticing that a lot of the public officials are all saying political violence. But I was just curious to know you all's thoughts about that. So just drop down below and let me all know what you think about this assassination that occurred earlier today. Thank you. Also, check out my YouTube channel. You can subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I appreciate every like. And if you watch all of this, thank you.